Today I'm going to cut curtain bangs or trim the bangs that I have. I actually got a haircut really recently, maybe like a week ago, with the purpose of cutting off some split ends and getting curtain bangs. I will say that my hairdresser followed the picture to a T. I'll show you guys the photo so you can see. My bangs aren't styled right now, but you can see they're like very thin, very long, and if I do style them, they kind of get like this, but they aren't very like bangy, you know? So now that I've had them for like a week, I do want them to be a bit thicker and a bit shorter, and then I also want to like blend this side of my hair into the bangs, which they currently are also not. I decided to take matters into my own hands, and I ordered some scissors from Amazon, and I'm going to follow Brad Mondo's video on YouTube. I've watched this video a couple times already to get an idea, and I've watched a couple other videos as well, and I like this one, so I'm just gonna follow along and cut, and then you guys can see how it turns out. It's like obviously super easy for a hairdresser to cut hair or even to do it on themselves, but I am a real life person who does not cut hair. Although during lockdown, I did cut my boyfriend's hair and my dad's hair, and it turned out pretty okay. But I don't cut my own hair. I don't ever trim my own hair. Now with the bangs, I also feel like I should learn because they're gonna need to get trimmed, and I'm not gonna wanna go to a salon every time I wanna trim them. So let's get started. First, wet the front section of my hair, since it's easier to cut that way.
2 or 3 inches, up to you, depending on how thick you want them, and depending on how thin your hair is naturally. I'm gonna go about 2 inches back, and I am going to take these down to about the end of her eyebrow. Depending on your face shape, that might be the middle of your eyebrow, might be the end of your eyebrow. If I only went to the middle of her eyebrow, it'd be a very thin bang, okay? That's fine. If you want a very thin one, go for it.
I'll bring it back to here, and he said pull it down to the end of your eyebrow, which is about there. Still kind of where they are now. Okay, I'm gonna bring it back a little bit more. That's not as easy as it looks to even section the hair that you want to be your bang. Okay. I think that's good.
But she told me she wants a thick one. She wants a big difference, a noticeable difference, and that is what you're gonna get. All of this hair is going to be her sort of bang section, all right? So you should have this little triangle section right here. And we're gonna clip the rest of the hair out of the way, just like that.
Okay, other side. The other thing is my parting is not exactly in the middle of my head. So for me, naturally, I'm gonna have like more bang on my right side than my left side, since my parting is like slightly off center. So that I'm aware of, and that's something my hairdresser was telling me as well when she was cutting my bangs. I'm gonna wet this again because apparently in the time it took me to simply part my bangs, my hair has already dried. So you're supposed to kind of have a triangle. I'm noticing the lines aren't like super even, so I'm just gonna fix that. That is looking more even to me than it was before. I don't know if you can tell, but I feel like I'm going cross-eyed because I'm like trying to see past my bangs to see my parting, and it is so hard. So yeah, if you could get someone to help you with even just this part, maybe that would be easier. Again, my bangs have dried, so I'm gonna go wet them once more.
Now, if you're unsure that you took the right amount of hair, you're gonna bring that part back, and I like to just kind of go like this and eyeball it.
Bring enough
kind of
hair?
imagine what the bang is gonna look like. Bring it to the
think
side,
that's good.
and if you're like, okay, that's a good amount of hair. When that's
think
cut,
that's a good
that'll
amount of
look
hair.
nice. That little swoop right there, that'll look nice. You're in a good place. If you pull it back like this and you're like, well, girl, that's too much hair, then don't do that. Bring it back a few steps. with me. So we're gonna hold our scissors like this. So the third finger right here, I think that's the ring finger, and the thumb. We are gonna comb this section nicely, okay? Really, really nicely. Get all those tangles out. Make sure it's still wet. We are actually gonna take this entire section in one. Now, normally I wouldn't do that, but we're trying to make this easy for you guys, okay? Then you're gonna decide what length you want to cut. Normally I like to go right under the cheekbones for the curtain bangs. That's usually a good height to start with. You can always go shorter, you can't go longer, all right? So I'm gonna start off a little bit longer than that, maybe right at the nose, and I am going to cut across.
Okay, time to actually cut. So as you can see, they're very long right now. They're like kind of at my chin. I think I'm going to do the cut right above my lip to start, and we will go from there. As Brad said, you can always go shorter, but you can't go longer. So we'll start off a little long. It's like how my boyfriend Roman says, you can always add salt, but you can't remove salt. Yet somehow that doesn't prevent me from over salting things. So, time to cut. Oh my God, this is scary. Okay, going to cut. Here we go. There we go. I think I did a pretty good job. See, the other thing too that's a little bit more difficult with my hair is, again, because my part is not exactly in the middle, when I match up the pieces, like I can't really go like the two front pieces. I have to go like somewhere in the middle here, because that's, you know, visually kind of what's actually in the center. And they line up. And on the outside, and they line up. Sick. Already liking this length better. I mean, we're not really anywhere yet, but I can visualize that it'll look kind of like this.
Usually a good place. I wouldn't go too far up, or else it's gonna look like
Okay.
just regular bangs. I'm just gonna face my off those longer pieces.
Okay, so the next step is to, like, they're super straight right now, so obviously we need to angle them a bit. And you do that by pinching the hair, pulling it opposite, so it's, your finger is parallel to the parting, right, which is at an angle, and you pull that across, and you should get something that kind of looks like that. So it's a little longer there. I'm just gonna do a little snippy snip. And it's not really a dramatic angle, which is fine, but you can see it definitely swoops a bit more than before. It's not like dead straight. And then the other side, do the same thing. So parallel to this line, pull to the other side, and cut off this excess here. Sweet. Again, check to see if they are the same length. This one looks a little longer. Yeah, this one's a little longer. Let's just do a little bit more snip snip. Okay. And then do a little matchup. Oh yeah, now they're the same length. Now they are the same length. Ooh. Okay. Ooh, how cute is this? They're not even done yet.
So now when we let go, we're gonna get a beautiful dramatic part of all. I am now gonna just blow dry her hair for you. Get it all nice. Gonna do a little halo section.
Okay, so he blow dries from here. I do just want to make sure that they are all the same length. I mean, they don't really look even from here, But again, I have less on one side than the other side. And they're also starting to dry now. There we go. Yeah, so there you can kind of see that they're pretty even. And again, the middle is not where my parting is, right? The middle is actually more on this side. So you can see that the middle is the shortest and then it gets longer. I think that's good. I'm just trying to think if I want to cut them anymore. But I think that angle is good. Let me just do one more check. There we go. That looks a little better. Now this one is a little longer. See, this is why you start with, obviously, much longer than, not much, but you know, a little bit longer than you want them to be, because after you make some adjustments, they will get shorter. Okay, I think that's good now. I think that's looking good. I think it's even. Yeah, okay. So in that process, my bangs have already dried. He goes and he dries the rest of the hair. I did just shower. I am going to blow dry it a bit so that I can do that front section that kind of connects here and then just finish it off.
On the ends of your hair. But again, just be careful. Don't cut yourself. Go slow.
I am already loving how this looks. I haven't done the finishing touches yet. This is kind of a lot closer to what I wanted, but I think I was not really committing to like the full bang at that point. But yeah, I love it. So now I'm just gonna finish it off by just texturizing them a bit.
And just do it little by little.
And then I'm just gonna cut directly into them. So I mean, I don't know if this is the best way to do it with how I'm bending my hair, but again, hard to do it on yourself. I have some rogue piece of hair here I'm just gonna snip off. And again, just cut into it. I guess it makes it kind of look a little softer.
Now, one other thing I'm gonna do.
Okay, he does it quite a bit. So I will go in and do it a little bit more. I'll do the other side. See, like, when you find this rogue hair, are you like, do I accept you as part of my bangs and cut you? I guess not. I'll leave her out. See, then even here, yeah, I'll accept you. You seem like you are part of it. Okay, you can tell this side was kind of blow dried a bit better. It's doing that little flicky flick. This side I gotta work on. It's always harder to do like one side for me, right-handed, so left side's always a bit harder. So the part that I'm kind of like worried about doing is connecting. So you can see there's like no connection between my bangs and my hair, which is like also a look, but I like the look of them kind of connecting in, and that is the part I am a little afraid of doing. So let me just rewatch how Brad does this.
Again, we're just sectioning about a ½ inch out at the front, holding it with our fingers, seeing where the end of the hair starts, and then just going down at a slant and slowly cutting out some of that hair as we slide down the hair. So now it's gonna really escalate this look. And
okay, so go about ½ inch past the bang. to just grab that kind of like front piece of hair. Oh my God, I'm so scared. It's hard to do, like this is hard to do on yourself. So I know you just like kind of cut diagonally down. So like here goes, I don't know. Oh, I'm scared. Okay. Okay, wasn't that much, but oh yeah, you can kind of see it just like blends a bit better. I don't know, I'm scared to do more than that, so I think I'm gonna leave it there. Again, very difficult to do when you can't freaking see what you're doing. But yeah, I think I got it. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but you can see how it kind of goes down from there. Let me try this side. Like, how do you do this when you're right-handed on the other side? Okay, I know my bangs start here. Do I just like, this looks like a not correct position. Should I just try it with my left hand? See that? I don't trust that. There is another video where someone does it to themselves, which is easier to follow. So let me refer to that one. Okay, how does she do? Okay, that's what she does. Her arm goes in this direction. So I guess I will try that. Okay, didn't cut that much, but hopefully that kind of helps with the separation. I feel like I can already see that it does, but I'm also just scared to cut more than that. I'm going to try to blow dry the other side to match this little flicky flick, and then we are done. I am very happy with how they turned out. It wasn't that hard. Like, all in all, I mean, it probably took me maybe half an hour just to cut some bangs, but as a first timer, really honestly wasn't that hard. There was one step that Brad Mondo did of like thinning them out that I didn't do because it was a little scary. So I did actually go back in and do that secondary step to further slightly thin out my bangs. And all I did was I took the scissors and I made really, really tiny cuts in my bangs. I'm not gonna do it because I already did it, but I literally just went through and cut like a couple hairs at a time. It is all in Brad's guide, so thank you so much, Brad, for enabling me to be able to cut my own curtain bangs. They do sit a bit better, and they still, you know, are much thicker than they were before, but they don't look like too thick. You know, like mushroom head type of thick. So I am happy I did that step, but just to keep in mind, like, it totally is gonna depend on how thin your hair is already. I have really thick hair, as you can see, so doing that extra step to thin them out worked for me. Some tips I would give you for cutting your bangs. So first thing I said, when you make that part, it's really hard to see past your own bangs to see where you're making the part. If you can get someone to help you with that part, would be a bit better, but obviously you can still do it yourself. I did it myself. Just maybe check to make sure it's even. I'm pretty perfectionist about that sort of thing. So I just double checked it and I did adjust it. I didn't just do it once and then leave it. I did adjust it to make sure it was like kind of a perfect triangle. The other thing is cut them a little bit longer than you want them because you are gonna make adjustments, and in those adjustments, they are gonna get a bit shorter. So I'm happy I started kind of at this length, and then I just made really small adjustments after that to make sure that they were even, and I'm really happy with the length right now. That's pretty much it. It's pretty straightforward. It's really quite simple. I will link Brad's video below and the other video that I referred to and kind of how to cut that section yourself, because in Brad's video, he's still doing it on a mannequin. So it's not really the same as like showing how you would actually do it on yourself. So hopefully that was helpful. If you're thinking about cutting your own curtain bangs, it is totally possible, totally doable, and not that scary. So hope it helped, and good luck.